And also, in case you lose connection or anything, if we are co-hosts, we are like
Okay.
there will be no
So
problems.
let me see if I can do it. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm making you a co-host. Right. I can make you also a host. What's the difference?
Yes, please. So we can help
Okay.
I think also if you can, yeah,
for the fast. Mhm.
yeah.
Also share things in the chat box.
Okay, yes, I think we all can pick.
Ah, okay. Now I made you a host, Christy, and now only you can make a co-host.
Yeah, I can only, yeah, I can make you all co-host, don't worry.
Okay.
Um, okay, so I think we're only waiting for the translator. I think Mariano is also, let me promote him as a panelist. Mariano, I cannot move him. Promote to panelist. Okay. That's why I cannot put Mariano as a panelist.
He has to log in from a panelist link.
Yeah, I think he entered another one. Okay, I'll write to him. Okay, so the translator is entering in 1-2 minutes.
Let's just make sure that the
Mhm.
I mean the companies can share the screen.
Yeah.
Well, can you?
Sure.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so according to the agenda, we'll have the opening words of Tal, who's here. Then we pass it to you, Dan, and then we go with IronVest, Adversa,
Hey,
DeepKeep, MCCO, CyberReady, Cyberscope, Asset Technologies, and Puente. So basically, it's like 8 minutes or 9 minutes for you to present, and we can have a couple of minutes for questions after your presentation. We have the translator for a little more time than 1 hour and 30, so if we pass over that, it's okay. So let's see how many questions we have. And also maybe for the companies only, just a heads up that during the registration, we ask the people if they wanted to meet after. So probably each trade officer after this event will contact you directly to schedule a meeting with the ones that already were interested in your solution. I think that's it. Let me check again with the translator.
many people signed up for the webinar? Dan,
Yeah. What did you
how
say?
many people? How many people signed up for the webinar?
400 plus.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. Let's hope all of them will attend. At least the majority.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, probably it's just like usually here it's like 30 or 40% of all the registrations actually attend. So, but the good thing is that after, if we share the, like an email with the maybe some of the economic missions uploaded to YouTube, sometimes they, like the ones that didn't had the chance to attend also uh, can look into that. But yeah, it was a really, really nice, great number. You're missing the translator. Let me follow her up again. Sorry, let's just wait for the translator a couple of minutes. It's just that she actually is in another webinar of the of Israel, but it's related to agriculture, I think. The same. It's okay if we give like a couple of minutes more until people can also enter.
Yeah.
Hi, Christy. So question,
Yeah.
hi, this is
Hi.
Gideon from Mexico. So question regarding the translator, how it's going to work? Is it online?
No, you just talk in English and the people will choose which channel they prefer, the English channel or the Spanish channel.
I see.
So if you go to the bar below, you'll see like a world icon and you can choose. Also, if someone speaks in Spanish, you can also choose the English one and you'll hear it in English and vice
Okay.
versa. So now the
Hola,
translator
Christy.
has entered. Yeah. Hola,
Yes,
Silvana.
sorry about that. I was in another webinar, also from the embassy.
Yeah. So Dan, Silvana is a translator. If you could, I think she's, oh, I can add her, sorry, from English to Spanish. Let's see. So now it's available. Okay, let's try it.
Hello, guys. How are you? Wow. Mariano is impersonating me.
No, you don't have a
Sounds
voice?
really bad. Like,
Okay, so the translation is working. Hi, everyone. Like,
hi,
Valentina,
Mariano.
did you say something?
Yeah, I'm saying that Mariano is impersonating me and I cannot change his name.
Oh, let's see.
Mariano, ¿estás ahí?
Mariano? Because
Thank
I
you.
saw like
Yes. Hi,
three.
how are you? Sorry.
I
Change
saw
your
three
name.
other Marianos in the
Okay.
attendees.
I will change
Thank
it.
you, Mariano.
Name.
Can you change your name? If not, I can try.
Right. Thank you,
Okay.
Christy.
Okay. I think just leave. Yeah, okay. So now it's okay. And I think we are good to go. We have like 72 people already, and until we, give the opening words and everything, it's okay. And for all the representatives of the companies, if someone speaks in Spanish, you can also use the translation option because it will switch to translating to English. So I think. Oh, sorry. I forget that I'm the host.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
you should do the co-host.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be better.
I think the attendees are already in the room. I'm not sure. Like,
Yeah,
sorry about. Can someone confirm me if we've already started the session?
Yes, we have.
So sorry, sorry to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We were just finalizing some minor details. I saw also another question, so we'll go back to that. But first of all, good morning. Thank you all for joining us in this cybersecurity webinar focused on Israeli solutions to face AI, deepfake, phishing, and fraud. And this webinar is a joint effort between the economic and trade missions in Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Spain, and Peru, and the Israel Expert Institute. So the webinar aims to share Israel's strengths in cybersecurity and explore the potential opportunities of joint work with stakeholders in the session, as all the people who have joined us today. And I remind everyone that the translation option is available in the bar below, so you can select the world icon and choose the language of your preference. In addition, feel free to leave your questions in the Q&A box or in the chat. And we will also share the emails of the trade officers during the session, so you can contact them after in case you like to schedule a meeting or ask more questions. I'm also going to say this in Spanish, just to be sure. Para todas las personas, muchas gracias por sumarse. Les recuerdo que tienen la opción de la traducción simultánea disponible, entonces si van a la barra inferior, en la parte del icono del mundo, pueden seleccionar si prefiere español e inglés. Y también los invitamos a dejar sus preguntas, sea por la caja de preguntas y respuestas o también por el chat. So, without further delay, I'm pleased to introduce Tal Seinuk, who is the head of the Economic and Trade Mission of Israel to Peru, so she can provide us with some opening words.
Good morning, muy buenos días. Discúlpame por mi voz. Es el cambio de clima, pero voy a hacer el mejor que puedo, que ustedes pueden escucharme. Entonces, buenos días. Es un gusto contar con su presencia en este webinar titulado Ciberseguridad israelí, coorganizado con el Instituto de Exportación de Israel. Como representantes de las misiones económicas y comerciales de Israel en Latinoamérica, buscamos ofrecer una ventana a nuestra tecnología para los actores más importantes de la región. Nuestro principal objetivo es promover la cooperación bilateral, enfocándonos, en este caso, en traer las mejores prácticas y experiencia en ciberseguridad para hacer frente a las necesidades y desafíos de la región. Israel será característica por establecer el estándar en temas de tecnología. No es por nada que más de 400 multinacionales tienen sus centros de I+D en el país. Existen más de 9,000 startups y 20% de PBI proviene de la industria de alta tecnología. Respecto a ciberseguridad, Israel cuenta con más de 500 empresas en diversas verticales, por lo que es un socio clave que entiende que los ciberataques no son una cuestión de si ocurren, sino de cuándo. En esta sesión conocernos 8 empresas líderes, los cuales ofrecen soluciones fundamentales para hacer frente en un mundo en constante evolución, en el cual el avance de nuevas tecnologías como Gen AI hace a nuestras vidas más sencillas y automatiza diversos procesos. Sin embargo, esto también nos expone a mayores y más complejos riesgos. Finalmente, los invito a conectar a las misiones económicas de Israel respectiva en su país para conocer más detalles y ponerse en contactos con las empresas. Esta es una gran oportunidad. Muchas gracias. Disfrutan.
Thank you, Tal, for your words. Now I am happy to pass the floor sorry, just let me go back with the original audio. So now I pass the floor to Dan Schiff, who is a business development coordinator of the cyber and fintech sectors at the Israel Expert Institute. So he can provide a short overview of the sector in Israel.
Hola a todos. Yo no hablo español, entonces hablo en inglés. Just wanted to brag a little bit with the small Spanish that I know. Yeah, I'm a business development coordinator in the Israeli Expert Institute. The Israeli Expert Institute is a non-profit organization that was founded with the Israeli Ministry of Economics. And our goal is to get to know the Israeli industry the best way we can and to cooperate with the Israeli Ministry of Economics and all the trade offices across the globe to make these kind of activities happen and to help the Israeli companies abroad to find opportunities abroad. Me specifically, I work in the cyber sector, but we have sectors in every kind of sector that Israel has strength in, like agriculture, climate, and many others. So each one of you who wants to reach out and ask questions about Israeli cyber, of course, you can reach out to the Israeli trade offices, but you can also try to do it with us. Yeah, we have 8 very interesting and innovative cyber companies today, and I'm happy to have all these attendees here, and I hope you will have fun, find interesting value, and that's it. Thank you, Christy. Good luck for everyone.
Thank you, Dan. So now we'll move on to hear about the 8 leading companies that are very gracefully with us today, and each will have a couple of minutes to explore, to expose what they do, what they've been doing around the world, and after each presentation, we'll have a couple of minutes for questions. So we highly encourage you to take advantage of this and leave your questions in the Q&A box or in the chat if you are able. So we'll start with IronVest. So I'm happy to invite Joel Candy, who is here with us. Hi, Joel. We cannot hear you. I think you're on mute.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
Is that okay? Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, hi, everyone. I'm glad I'm not the first gringo. I'm the second gringo after Dan. So also, hablas en inglés. So hi, everyone. My name is Joel Candy. I'm the Chief Business Officer at IronVest. I'm thrilled to be here today. At IronVest, we're sort of revolutionizing fraud prevention with next generation technology that not only stops fraud at its core, but also redefines how financial institutions and institutions generally protect their users. I'm excited to share with you today an innovative approach which is reshaping digital banking security, delivering seamless protection without friction. So let's jump into it and see what makes us really, really different. Before I start, I'd like to mention that our founder, Avi Turgeman, he's the CEO and founder of IronVest. He was the CTO and founder and inventor of BioCatch, which today is a leading behavior biometric company that's pretty much deployed in 90% of the banks around the world. While he was there, he noticed that there was a few problems within the banks, and which I will go through today. But I just want to set this out that this is a new technology that's reshaping this industry. Now, if we look about how the modern consumer expects and what they expect today, is they really expect to transact any amount, anytime, any place, on any device. And sort of the digital or business teams and the fraud teams sort of have to work together to meet or even better exceed these expectations. But the challenge is that the customers they demand simplicity and really the fraud team have to bring in all this friction, right? All this unnecessary friction. So we're layering more and more authentication mechanism like 2FA, MFA, OTPs, etc. And it's like it's piling more locks on the door, but we never watch what's happening after it opens. And what the result is that you have frustrated users and systems that still let the fraud through the cracks. So we've kind of created this confusing maze of security signals and detection layers that yet the attacks keep coming. So let's talk about the numbers, right? Billions of dollars are spent on fraud detection and authentication. And what do we get in return? We get persistent fraud that's growing faster than ever, while users are still tapped and trapped in endless loops and identity checks. The trust we aim to build is really being eroded by the very tools that we use to protect it. And here's why it happens. Authentication is treated as separate from the action. A user verifies themselves, and then sometime later, they initiate a sensitive transaction. That gap is where the fraud happens. The current solutions look for patterns and statistical anomalies to detect this, but it's too late. The damage is already done. Prevention needs to happen in real time with zero doubt about who's taking the action. Now, if you think about the vulnerability, when you have this authentication that is separate from the action, this is how 99% of the cyber breaches that happen today actually happen. Either the fraudsters are, compromising credentials, through social engineering, or they're compromising users or employees after authentication, where they use rat, man in the middle, or any non-human based attacks. So what we did is we've created a technology that we call Action ID, which really changes everything. So instead of treating identity and action as two separate steps, we actually fuse them into one. So when the user takes a sensitive action, their biometric identity is captured and bound to that moment. Right then, right there. There's no delay, no gap to exploit, and the action and the actor become inseparable. And from this, we can actually determine or generate a deterministic signal, not a statistical guess, not a risk score, but actually a binary outcome. It's either the authorized person taking the action or it's not. That level of clarity is what stops fraud in its tracks and finally gives business signals that they can trust. So how does it actually work, right? When the user initiates that sensitive action, say like moving money, changing credentials, Action ID kicks in. Without them needing to do anything, a biometric video activates in the background, no prompts, no delays, no friction. It captures real-time signals, facial presence, motion, and liveness, and all of it and all of the screen as well, providing not just who they are, but that they are there right then making that decision. And all of this happens invisibly between the pixels, seamlessly tied to the action being taken. The abstract animation that you actually see on the screen is a dynamic hash of the facial feed projected on the screen. So the result is actually a binary fraud decision that instantaneously and accurately basically makes sure that the user is who they are and what they're doing is actually valid. So Action ID experience is sort of designed to provide a seamless security without disrupting the user journey. Our technology ensures that authentication is both invisible and adaptable, allowing for flexible presentation options that fit different user preferences. This means that institutions can choose how to implement their security, whether through a Face ID-like experience that runs in the background, a screen video verification, or actually a privacy-first dynamic hash experience, which is what you see in the middle. This flexibility allows us to actually balance strong fraud prevention with the effort experience of ensuring that security will never come at the cost of convenience. So Action ID goes beyond traditional fraud detections, systems that exist today, helping institutions prevent account takeover and scams, and even tackling fraud that happens outside of the digital channel, like call center fraud and other assisted payment channels, and even helping enable true passwordless strategy across the organization. Forensic insight is just as important as real-time prevention. With the forensic audit trail that we have, we can capture and archive everything: session actions, biometric presence, device fingerprints, risk analytics, and more. It's not just about stopping the fraud, it's about proving what happened with a clarity and confidence. This allows us to actually solve for first-party fraud, what is called in Latin America as auto fraud. If the user says or tries to manipulate the system, but it actually is the real user and they're saying they didn't do it, we can actually provide proof that you can provide to any legal courts, like the Conducef in Mexico, for example, that will allow you to prove that it was the user that did the action. We make it really easy to protect what matters. Action ID comes in two forms: a powerful SDK for native apps and a SaaS-based model for client-managed channels. Whether it's deep integration or rapid deployment, fraud prevention is definitely within reach, and it's very easy to deploy this. So it's more than just a fraud tool. It's a transformation of the entire digital experience. One SDK, real-time identity, binary fraud outcomes with no interruptions. So to sum it up, it really stops fraud. It slashes your operational expense while giving the customers the seamless experience they've always wanted. So thank you for joining me today. If there's one idea that I'd like you to take away, it's this: trust shouldn't be a compromise. With Action ID, we no longer have to choose between security and experience. That's it. Thank you very much.
Joel. Actually, right on time. So we have two questions for you. So the first is, what are the challenges this solution is currently facing and how are you tackling them? Example, this biometrics-driven approach is functional only when the user has a camera enabled. How to jump that barrier when the user system HW does not have that ability?
The hardware doesn't have, when the hardware
Yeah.
does not have ability.
And yeah,
Yeah,
first
go
that one, and then we'll move to the other.
So, I can say that, in the past, I think there were less people that had cameras. I think there's more people that have cameras today. Cameras are become ubiquitous to any device that we have, whether, we're talking about laptop or cameras. You can ask the same question about, if people don't have phones and can't get, digital phones, so they can't get OTPs anymore. So is that a reason not to do the solution? The revolution sort of is coming, right? We're going into this transformation age where people have cameras on their phone. So that's set aside, right? You're only talking about a small subset of users. That set aside, we still capture the screen and all the signals outside of the screen. So yes, we can still give a really good signal on everything else, but the identity tying to the actual, the biometric identity tying to the action is the stronger device, is the stronger signal.
Okay.
Okay.
So another thing is this the solution is only for digital banks or can be implemented across all different services, P2P, credit cards, and so on. And
Yes,
which certifications do you have?
Yeah, okay. So certifications were SOC 2 enabled, our biometric algorithms are all NIST certified. So we have the certifications that are needed. In terms of the solution, we're focused on digital banks, but we are talking to telcos, e-commerce. There's many different use cases for this, and we're open to talking to many to different customers about different use cases on using. The technology is versatile in a way that it can be used for many different applications. So it can be used outside of the digital banking world.
Okay, so another thing is IronVest replace some features of BioCatch, another vendor in similar market, or is it a complement?
Okay, so it could be both. We have all the signals that BioCatch has, but we use it only for forensic purposes. If you're using BioCatch today for risk monitoring on transactions, it can complement it, meaning you would use BioCatch to use it for low risk transactions and trigger the high risk transactions with IronVest. So you could use BioCatch to basically complement it. So yes.
Okay, another question. It's from Danilo Ferrigno from Colombia, and he says that in the end we see that the users are the principal threat, let's say, because of the lack of knowledge or awareness. So are you working in this regard?
I don't understand. We see that in Colombia the final is the Vemos.
Yeah, like if you're tackling this in any way with the solution that you have in IronVest, like because
I don't understand the problem.
Yeah, because they said that the principal threat is the lack of awareness of the users and the lack of knowledge of the users. So
yes, This is all with explainability from the banks. We are going towards something that we call it like a continuous face ID. So users are used to already face recognition, and they are used to biometric, specifically in Latin America. I can tell you that where we've tested it in Mexico, for example, the actual elder crowd likes this more than the younger crowd, because the elder crowd, there's no OTPs, no QR codes. All they do is just do the action itself, right? There's no step-ups. This is just doing what they're used to doing, and now somebody's checking and making sure that it's them and what they're doing.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up with the questions for IronVest. I know there are a lot, so maybe Joel, you can see if you can type an answer, or if not, you can the people interested could contact the trade officers of the country they are in, and then they can do the connection with Joel.
I'll just say two things. One, about the banks that are working in Latin America, we are going into production in Mexico with one of the big tier one banks. In terms of AIs and deepfakes, yes, we have algorithms that are checking for that, and we have another way of checking how deepfakes happen, which is the injections of the cameras. So we do know how to solve that as well. So yes, we're working on that. And the rest, I'm happy to. Sure. I can type in the answer. As well.
Go ahead, please, Joe. Thank you all for the questions. So now we'll move with the next presentation, that is of Daniel Rubinstein, who is co-founder and CEO of Adversa AI.
Cheers. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you very much. I'll be happy to step in. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Very well. So hello again. I'm Daniel, co-founder of Adversa. At Adversa, we do red teaming for AI applications. Essentially, it means that our job is to attack AI application in a million of possible ways to make sure that we break it and we find all potential vulnerabilities before everyone else will be able to. And we provide a very straightforward way to remediate it and to actually make the application safe. So just a brief history of Adversa in a few words. We started as essentially an AI security research lab, one of the very first in the world. We basically pioneered or invented the concept of AI red teaming. We have been consistently the first to break every LLM as soon as it's released into the world, and we have been productizing our research in the past couple of years, creating the most robust AI red teaming for all the applications. So essentially, this is the situation which every security officer of a big enterprise, whether it's governmental organization or financial organization or anything else, essentially finds themselves in. So last year, most of the enterprises had zero AI-based applications. Obviously, some had some internal databases. Almost everyone played within innovation departments with some sort of applications. But the 2025 is the year of this huge impactful revolution where enterprises are releasing applications essentially by the dozen. We have customers that are releasing more than 100 applications this year. And each and every one of those applications must be tested before it will get into the production. And even worse, because AI is so insanely dynamic, even after it had been tested, when it's already in production, it's not safe, because within a couple of weeks, it will become vulnerable again. And you need to perform this testing on a regular basis. And there are not much choice that CISOs usually have in these cases. You can go to some consultants like Big Four, or Accenture, that sort of organizations, and they will promise to perform those testing, but they usually lack specific skills because it's clearly a totally different skill set, and it's becoming less and less realistic to do this without a sophisticated platform such as ours, even on a one-time basis. And the point is that you need to do this continuously. So this is very quickly becoming a not a potential, even an option. So basically, you need a continuous testing to be able to do this. All infrastructure that organizations have been investing for application security is completely irrelevant for the AI world. It is totally different set of vulnerabilities. There are jailbreaks, there are memory risk, there are different vulnerabilities between agents communicating between each other. And right now, with the rise of reasoning models, we are stepping into the era of essentially attacks on the reasoning. This is even transforms from cybersecurity to sort of cognitive security. This is vulnerabilities on the very frontier of the AI. So essentially, the business need for it is absolutely essential. And furthermore, most of the countries in the Western world and most of the countries are issuing regulations, especially for financial institutions, that are basically mandating red teaming for critical AI applications. So if you want to release into production application that would actually be impactful, you absolutely must red team it on a regular basis. So our platform covers basically all essential risks, from simple prompt injections, jailbreaks, to safety risks such as brand manipulation, dependent on the, most importantly, we cover business risks, because at the end of the day, what you need as a result of the security testing of the application is a simple answer to a question. Is this application safe to use? For example, if AI agent is capable of wiring money to someone else, it is not enough to just simply find a vulnerability. The ultimate question is it safe to trust this application to wire money? Because with AI, the number of vulnerabilities at the end of the day is almost infinite. And without a sophisticated way of defining on the individual basis for every application, what are the business risks that is generating, that's impossible to test against them. So the platform works in a very simple fashion. So we connect through the API to any application, whether it is a simple chatbot that does customer service, or it is a very sophisticated fleet of agents that is handling the business function by itself, for example, doing some back office process like procurement. We connect to it, we perform threat modeling, we identify vulnerabilities, and we basically we simulate an adversarial attack on the system using, in some cases, millions of individual attacks, covering all the potential vulnerabilities. There are several major organizations that are working on defining standards for AI risks. We, by the way, are active contributors into most of those organizations, and they are all covered within our platform. So from the compliance standpoint, Adversa covers you 100%. The approach of Adversa guarantees that the assessment would be as deep as you want it, as deep as you need it. It would be very easy to understand what risks find and how they were generated and trace them back to remediate it. We use this framework to understand the whole landscape of attacks. And our platform covers everything from known attacks within known categories of attacks, all the way to unknown attacks, even inside unknown categories of attacks. It sounds a little bit cryptic, but actually it means that in AI world, not even new attacks appear every day, but whole new concept of new types of attacks appearing every day. And you need an automated way to find them, because it's not even possible to have a bunch of researchers looking for zero-day vulnerabilities.
Daniel, please, if we could just wrap
Of
up
course,
the
I'll wrap it up
presentation.
in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Sure. So we have started a long time ago. There is an incredible amount of research behind it, and that allows us to perform this testing very quickly and with in some cases 2 orders of magnitude less compute and faster than everyone else. As I mentioned, we have a very consistent track record of doing this. We are working with enterprises globally and with partners globally. We very welcome partners that do want to work with us in Latin America. This would be a little bit of a new region to us, even though we work in Brazil. We have been recognized as a leading company in the field for a while, and that's basically it. Thank you very much for your attention. I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Daniel. Actually, we have one question before we move to the other presentation. Is that the platform offered by Adversa, is it applicable to RAG type architecture, either deployed in Azure or AWS? Or do you offer any solution for the treatment of and do you offer any solution for the treatment of sensitive information within AI applications?
It was a little bit hard to understand the question from.
Maybe I can put it for you. It's if it's applicable to RAG type architecture.
Yes,
either Azure or AWS.
Of course, absolutely. We work with essentially any type of architecture. Basically, the core of the platform acts as a black box testing, so we don't really care what the architecture is. We can dive deep if needed, but the short answer is yes.
Okay, and there are other 2 questions, but in terms of timekeeping, maybe if you can address them
I'll be happy to.
in the question
I
and
can find them
answer
in the chat,
box.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the question and answer box. So
Perfect. Thank you very much.
okay, thank you, Daniel. So now we'll move to the next presentation. So I'm very happy to invite Ronnie Ohayon, CEO and founder from DeepKeep.
Hello. Hello, everybody. My pleasure to be here with you today. I cannot actually present because somebody else is sharing.
Oh, yeah. Daniel, I think you are still sharing. Yeah.
Now I can present. So just a second. I will upload my presentation in a second. Perfect. So I hope you can see my presentation. It is great to meet you all. I'm Ronnie. I am the CEO and founder of DeepKeep. So what we do, we provide a comprehensive solution for AI and Gen AI security related to the subject that was just mentioned before. So what we do is, the idea is that, as mentioned before, AI-based systems are used today by enterprises worldwide. But it turns out that AI systems are vulnerable to new types of threats, risks, and attacks, which, unlike traditional cyber attacks that are usually caused by software bugs, human error, or misconfiguration, AI attacks are caused by inherent limitations of any AI-based system, and therefore all the existing classical cybersecurity solutions, they are all excellent, but not relevant to protect against the new attacks in AI that can happen across the entire AI lifecycle. As you know, enterprises today do not develop AI model from scratch. They use the ecosystem, not only for LLM and Gen AI and chat services, but also for classical models, such as computer vision model. So if attackers put some kind of malware or poisoning or backdoor in the model or in the data set, it will still be there. When the system is already in production, there are other types of threats, risks, and attacks. So this is a security part that actually mentioned before in the last presentation quite in detail, but this is only one part, is the security part. Second part is related to privacy. Privacy, it means also data leakage, code leakage, data extraction, and then there is a trustworthiness of AI, how you can trust the decision of AI-based system. There are also weak spots of AI model, out of distribution, etc. So another part is the trustworthiness of AI, and this is relevant for any kind of model. When talking specifically about generative AI, about LLM, chat services, so there are unique threats that are related to Gen AI, such as jailbreaking, prompt injection, hallucination of AI model, biased information, and not meeting the policy of the organization. So what we do in DeepKeep, we provide enterprise software to cover all the security, privacy, and trustworthiness aspects of AI and Gen AI, including agentic AI across the entire AI lifecycle. I will skip the types of threats and attacks and examples because there are so many hundreds and we don't have time to go into the details, but I will be happy, later on to go to the details. So we developed a Gen AI-based platform that covers, as mentioned before, all the attacks and threats and risks across the entire AI lifecycle. Our platform includes 4 pillars. The first one is risk assessment, like automated pen testing or automated red teaming. We have 15 categories that are related to all the security aspects, privacy, and trustworthiness. So we attack the model in all the known attacks that are in the literature, the industry standards, but also our proprietary mechanism, and we find all the vulnerabilities of the model. We scan it, we run attacks, we find vulnerabilities that are related to security, privacy, and trustworthiness. So we check how the model tends to data leakage, to code leakage, to jailbreaking, to hallucination, to fairness issue, biases issue, if it meets the relevant standards. So this is the risk assessment. The result is a list of all vulnerabilities for each one of them, what is the severity, what is the impact, what is the likelihood. But this is only the first part. The automated red teaming, finding the vulnerability, finding the risk is only the first part. The second part is actually to fix it. And that's what we do in our platform. But as there are also, zero-day attack, particularly in the emerging space of AI and Gen AI, therefore, we have a real-time solution, a runtime. You can call it like AI and Gen AI firewall. So being able to detect and mitigate threats, risks, and attacks in real time. So in this way, we find attacks in real time, mitigate it, providing a solution for the entire AI lifecycle. Our platform is fully automated, based on Gen AI. So by a press of a button, you can run, the automated pen testing, red teaming, risk assessment, Then same for the protection, real-time detection and mitigation. We cover the entire AI life cycle. In terms of deployment, we support SaaS. We are cloud native. Kubernetes, so we work with all types of cloud, Amazon, Microsoft, Azure, GCP, IBM. So all the clouds are supported, but we support also on-prem installation because still large enterprises, big banks, big insurance companies that are our customers sometimes still prefer to have on-prem deployment, so we support it as well. We also work with government, so they usually also prefer to have on-prem installation. So we support both SaaS, on-prem, hybrid models, and we have customers in Americas, in Europe, in APAC that are all using, different deployment scenarios. Maybe I will give you an example, that is not related only to chat services, because chat services, I will talk about it in a second, but giving you an example that is related, for example, to computer vision models. So, for example, this is one of our customers, very large enterprise in Japan that is using DeepKeep, is one of the Fortune 100 companies in the world. So they use object detection system, so a person detection system. So, for example, today with AI, object detection is more accurate than human. So, for example, in this case, the classification will be that it is a person, 100% confidence. But part of our risk assessment was to check if this system can be easily misleaded. So in this case, we created part of the risk assessment, part of the automated teaming. We created this adversarial image. And by putting this adversarial image on the shirt of the person, suddenly the model is sure that it is no person in the image. And again, it is state-of-the-art model, more accurate than human. But right now, because of this adversarial image, the classification is that there is no person in the image. You can see it in a video. It's quite amazing. A person is detected. You can see the bounding box. But when showing this shirt with the adversarial attack, suddenly no detection because of the attack. Covering it, detection, opening, no detection. So this is, for computer vision. But enterprises today, big banks and insurance company would like to use also chat services internally and externally. Internally, it means for the employees. Externally, it means
Ronnie, 1 minute more, please.
Okay, I will try. So chat services, they use it, lots of advantages, but on the other end, in addition to finding the vulnerabilities and to fix it, they would like to have real-time solutions. So we have a real-time AI firewall. So it is a bidirectional firewall. In the input side, we check that nobody tried to mislead the model. Nobody did, but it's still personal data. No jailbreaking, no prompt injection. But then in the response, we check no data leakage, no code leakage, meeting the privacy, meeting the regulation, meeting the policy of the organization, of the enterprise. And we have more than 60 filters in our firewall to cover all the security, privacy, and trustworthiness aspects. But as was asked before, when using AI, it's not only the LLM, because you have RAG, you have RAG, as mentioned before in the question, you have databases, you have plugins, you have AI agents, and in each point you have different vulnerabilities, and we provide the entire protection for the entire ecosystem, because in each point you have different vulnerabilities, and using our microservices, that AI agents that are cloud native, we support the entire ecosystem protection. So as we don't have so much time, I will just conclude that with this slide and say this is the only solution that provides security, privacy, and trustworthiness across the entire AI life cycle, supporting multimodality, chat services, LLM AI agents, but also computer vision and models that combine all of them together. It is all related to the context, to the use case of the customers, and use cases of banks, finance, telecom are different. And we support multiple languages, including, for example, Spanish and Portuguese. It was trained on Portuguese databases. So we have, when using our platform in Brazil, for example, it is trained on Portuguese. Not only the UI, but also the engine itself provide security. It is extremely important to support it in the native language, and this is what we are doing.
Yeah. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please feel free to leave your questions, and we could come back after if we have more time. So now we'll move to the next presentation. So Gideon Hassan, who is COO from Mexico.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for having me. Showing my screen, just making sure everyone see this. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay, sorry for that. So, Gideon Azam, co-founder, chief operation and customer officer at Memsico. Memsico sounds like Mexico, so we're talking into Latin America space now, but Memsico stands for Memco Cyber Corporation. A little bit on the company. So we founded 4 years ago by a group of founders that been working in the high-tech industry for many years. This is not our first initiative in cyber security and performance initiatives. So very well experienced team. Among our board members, we have distinguished people coming from big companies in the US, many in the US. Company snapshot, high level. So we deliver a market-first, preemptive, real-time digital risk protection solution. I'm going to elaborate this in a few minutes. We're predicting and protecting against digital impersonation, account takeover, phishing, and online fraud scams. This is all done in real time. So this is not something that we do after the fact or in batches. Real-time detection, alerting, and protection on bank customers, airline customers, other financial customers, and so on. We provide a significant ROI, especially on the OpEx and CapEx of the organization when it comes to less reimbursement to customers, claiming on fraud, and quick incidents handling on the OpEx side. We have about 45 enterprise customers. These are mainly banks in North America, Canada, and now, as we speak, we're having in Latin America as well. But we also have airlines, credit card companies, basically any enterprise who has online transacting application with customers. Currently, we have about 330 million end users that are mapped through our platform and being protected for our customers against fraud and scam attacks. This also represents 2.5 million attacks that we already detected and protected our customers in this space. Our sale or implementation approach is direct and indirect. So we have partners like Deloitte, like Accenture, and some other local resellers in different countries. The company as a company is well funded by venture capitalists in this space. In terms of regulation, we comply with all relevant regulation, like you see here on the bottom. So ISO related and SOC 2 Type 2 as required. I will pick up one statement here from a CISO of one of the largest banks in North America that says that after deploying Memsico solution, they moved the average fraud incident handling from 72 hours to less than 1 hour, and by so saving millions of dollars per month. The problem, very high level, I know that we don't have much time. So account takeover attacks is increasing. It's rapidly increasing. We're talking about 250% increase from last year to this year. We see this on all other parameters, and let alone the ATO losses that is being projected for till 27, which is $343 billion across the board. The current solution or the current problem is obviously has impact on the business, being churn, being damage to the brand, and so on. We're not going to go over this. I'm sure that you're all familiar with that. current solution in the market, detecting fraud and scams in real time, are lacking some capabilities. And one of the major one is knowing when the attack is starting and when the victim is being exposed. Many solutions today in the market basically protecting the identity, the login to the bank application as an example, making sure that Gideon is a Gideon and not someone else. But what happens to Gideon as a customer of the bank beyond the front door? If I'm at home and I'm being lured to click on a text message, I'm getting into a link and my credentials being harvested. This is something that is invisible today in the market in real time. So how we do this? Account takeover is a cycle, it's a process, it's a step-by-step development. Let me start with the first one. First one is when the attacker is preparing and building and designing the attack. So he will do kind of inspection and some analysis on the site itself. Then he's going to clone your site. He's going to use that clone as a base for an attack. And this is something that, also another level that we detect in real time. So let me go one step backward. We detect in real time if someone is inspecting and investigating your site. We detect in real time if someone is cloning your site, full cloning or partial cloning. We detect when the site that he developed as a phishing site is
Give
up
you
in.
one more minute, please.
So we detect this in real time. We know who are the customers, and this is the most important part of this presentation. We know in real time who are the customers of the bank, of the airline, and any other business that are exposed to the attack. We know this in real time. This is agentless solution from end user perspective, and this is all done in real time with no friction, no impact whatsoever on the performance. So we are integrated with fraud and risk system of the organization, and we have API integration with many systems like the cyber side and the fraud side. I know we don't have much time, but basically, just to sum up, we are a SaaS-based solution. The only place that we are deployed is on the website of the bank, airline, and others, and that's it. This is a plug and play, and from now on, everything run by itself. No integration really is required, and that's it. I could spend another 20 minutes, but I know we have time constraints here.
Thank you, Gideon. We actually have one question in the chat box. So if you can address that maybe over there, or if it's like super quick here, but it's like for the LATAM market, if Mexico goes directly to the final client, or which is a business model?
No, it's a business model. We are deployed with the bank, with the telco company, with the airline. We are basically having some very advanced POCs now in Latin America, in some banks, airlines, and some others as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Just going to say something in Spanish again. Para todos los que estén consultando, si luego quieren reunirse con las empresas o tienen más preguntas, pueden escribir a los trade officers de cada uno de sus países. Hemos dejado la lista en el chat. Entonces, por ahí también se pueden, si luego más adelante tienen preguntas, podemos verlas por ese lado. So now we'll move to the next speaker. So I invite Mike Polaczek from CyberReady. Sorry if I butcher your surname, Mike.
Yep. So, oops. Here we go. In a second. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Polaczek, representing CyberReady. Our technology will help your employees to adopt security habits we're just addressing the gap of your employees when technology doesn't work in 100%. Our technology is SaaS-based, is fully automated, kind of a plug and play, and its uniqueness, it's that it is data-driven and not a traditional LMS. During the first presentation, there was a question from Daniel, if I remember correctly, from Colombia, if there is a solution for so-called awareness. So yes, here we are. I want to start just by leading you or walking you through a daily habit that I hope it's super common, and it's our daily toothbrushing. Okay, I guess every morning, every evening, each one of us is brushing his teeth. That's kind of a daily practice, a continuous practice. And the question is, how can we tell our kids, ourselves, if we are doing it the right way? So there is a technology. I'm not a promoter, but I'm using Oral-B with an app that will provide me feedback in real time. So it counts the time that I'm spending and the coverage that I'm implementing. So immediate feedback on two aspects helps me to improve my performance every morning. So continuous practice and
Sorry,
immediate.
Mike, are you showing us your presentation? Because we are still on the first slide. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want, you can do it in presentation mode. Yes.
I was presenting.
No, maybe it's not working. Yeah, but we can move on with we're seeing now the second slide. I think you can.
Okay, and now?
No, we're still on the second one.
Yeah, it's okay. I think you can also present it like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is wrong here? Just 1 second. Okay. Okay. Now you can see this second screen, the second slide.
Yes, we're in the second slide.
Yeah.
Oh, something went wrong here. Sorry for that. I'll take it here. Okay. So these are my two feedback KPIs: the time and the coverage. Okay. So every toothbrushing requires continuous practice and immediate feedback. Now we're moving to another daily habit, okay, which is our emails. The average emails that each one of us is receiving on daily basis is more than 50 a day. And as phishing, fraud, social engineering in general is on the rise, it's nothing new, but it's on the rise for the last 20 years. The question is, how can we improve our employees' performance? So with the same technology or the same idea, we provide daily practice with immediate feedback. The same idea that each one of us is practicing with his brush teething, we apply for phishing simulations, smishing simulations, and many other security habits. Since AI is one of the major trends currently, we are asking ourselves how the AI-based attacks affecting our arena. And the basic answer is that we can notice two major phenomena. One, it's scale up the amount and the pace of the attacks, and it gets more and more personalized. These two elements are already embedded in our platform since our start, like almost 10 years ago. So when it comes to covering the impact of the new attacks on your employees, we are already there. So in short, CyberReady is what the market defines as awareness training platform. It is fully automated, SaaS-based, as I mentioned, with a high impact on the results. The effectiveness of the program is not to create awareness, but to make your employees ready.
Mike, sorry, are you in which slide? Because I think we are stuck on the second.
Maybe it's stuck, but I'm about to complete in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I don't want to get into technicalities. Okay. So our platform is based on external and internal sensors. We're using machine learning algorithm to deliver the program, and we provide it with the support of 42 different languages, including Spanish for Latin America, Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese, and including many, many others. The idea behind it is that it will help every security team, every security leader to enjoy a seamless effort with kind of a plug-and-play system. Embedding the right principles of continuous practice and immediate feedback, each one of your stakeholders, meaning your management team, your employees, and your security member, will love, prefer the system. That's it.
Thank you, Mike. So don't worry. We could probably share the the presentation with the people, and we'll circle back in case there are some more questions, because I remember someone at the start was asking about actually a solution like CyberReady. So we'll move to the next presentation. So I'm happy to invite Camilo Escobar, who is the General Manager for Americas of Cyberscope. Adelante,
Thank
Camilo.
you, Christy. Thank you very much. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm in a noisy environment and in cybersecurity for industrial organizations. So sorry if there is some noise background. Okay, let me share the presentation. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Christy, allow me to speak in Spanish. So I'm sorry for my colleagues that speak only English. So I will do it in Spanish because something of this is in Spanish speakers. So, soy Camilo Escobar, gerente general de Américas, como dijo Christy. Trabajo para Cyberscope. Cyberscope es una compañía que, a diferencia de la mayoría de nuestros presentadores, lo que provee son integración de sistemas de seguridad. Nosotros utilizamos la mejor tecnología del mercado, algunas de ellas pueden ser empresas como las que han presentado ahora, y prestamos todo esto como un servicio. Damos un servicio de muy alta calidad. Nuestro enfoque principal es en los 3 servicios que consideramos más críticos. ¿Sí? Esto lo damos a diferentes organizaciones en los campos tanto de IT como de OT. Y esos tres principales servicios son el monitoreo 7x24, sus soluciones de sus redes, respuesta a incidentes y gestión de crisis. Abajo en el mapa de la derecha vemos dónde estamos ubicados geográficamente. Siguiente slide. Ya. Estos son los bloques con los que construimos nuestro portafolio. Tenemos unos paquetes, son paquetes que hacen un monitoreo de las soluciones de nuestros clientes, desde soluciones muy básicas, que son netamente monitoreo MDR, Managed Detection and Response de sus redes, ¿sí? Con inteligencia totalmente artificial, totalmente automatizado, hasta soluciones que involucran analistas expertos, gente experta en respuesta a incidentes o gente experta en gestión de crisis. Y nosotros construimos la solución con estos bloquecitos. Estos bloquecitos corresponden a tecnologías, a soluciones de vendedores que hemos seleccionado porque consideramos son de muy alta calidad y incluyen soluciones 24/7 de SOC, soluciones 24/7 de SIEM, soluciones de respuesta a incidentes, gestión de vulnerabilidades, gestión de IT o de OT, y entre ellos está seguridad de correo, que es el tópico del que les voy a hablar. Nosotros lo que sabemos que los clientes hoy día ya tienen algún tipo de solución, como la ciberseguridad es un tema de capas. Lo que nosotros hacemos es adicionar capas a la solución existente del cliente para mejorar su postura de seguridad. Y entre ellos está la protección del correo. ¿Ok? Hablando de protección del correo, nosotros trabajamos con una empresa que se llama IronVest. IronVest es un proveedor muy reconocido de soluciones avanzadas de protección de correo. Estos combinan inteligencia artificial, aprendizaje automático y experiencia humana para proteger de amenazas muy complejas. Ofrece soluciones muy complejas que generalmente no son detectadas por medios tradicionales, ¿sí? Y adicionalmente la plataforma incluye entrenamiento. El eslabón más débil de la cadena en el tema de ciberseguridad suele ser el factor humano. Entonces, también una plataforma involucra este tipo de entrenamiento para educar a los empleados con el fin de que ellos sepan detectar estas amenazas y también cómo reaccionar cuando se presentan. Es una plataforma efectiva, fácil de utilizar y hoy día es utilizada por más de 16.000 empresas en el mundo entero. ¿Cómo trabaja? Esta plataforma trabaja con el Outlook 365 y con el Workspace de Google. ¿Ok? Combina inteligencia artificial inteligencia humana. Es una plataforma que está también basada en inteligencia de amenazas colaborativa. Ahora les explico un poco cómo funciona esto. Una característica también muy importante es que es posible identificar cierto tipo de cuentas de correo como VIP con el fin de darle una protección superior, mucho más estricta. ¿Cuáles son las capas de protección de la plataforma? Estos son prácticamente las amenazas que ella soporta y así como los planes de entrenamiento. Está el Business Email Compromise, el malware avanzado y los ataques por URL, la colección de credenciales, es el uso masivo de captura de credenciales, login y passwords para ser utilizados posteriormente en ataques. El Account Takeover Attacks, que es el control de cuentas de forma remota para fines maliciosos. El DMARC Management. DMARC es un protocolo de protección de cuentas de correo y de protección de dominios. Nosotros soportamos este tipo de protocolos con el fin de proteger las cuentas como los dominios, las websites de nuestros clientes. Y también soporta ataques generativos de inteligencia artificial. Ya hablaron algo de ellos, son ataques que están en boga, que utilizan un análisis masivo de información en Internet, análisis masivo de redes sociales, para generar ataques muy personalizados. A nivel de entrenamiento, soportamos entrenamiento de simulación de phishing y entrenamiento de concientización de la seguridad. diferentes a phishing.
Hola Camilo, un minuto más, por favor.
Ok, ¿cómo hacemos la magia? A nivel de malware y protección de URL es una aproximación multicapa. A nivel de inteligencia de amenazas colaborativas, esto es bien importante. Los clientes pueden reportar correos sospechosos. Luego, esta información puede ser accesible para todos los clientes que en el mundo entero, sobre ese correo que se detectó en Tailandia, un cliente en América Latina lo puede utilizar. También hacemos toda la parte de detección de anomalías a nivel de correo para protección de PEC, de Business Email Compromise y de Account Takeover. Hacemos respuesta respuesta a incidentes potenciada con inteligencia artificial. Nuestro objetivo es que nuestros analistas sean una extensión de su equipo de investigación, del equipo de nuestros clientes. Y toda la parte de entrenamiento que es muy importante porque es la forma de educar al cliente final con el fin de fortalecer este punto débil. Y finalmente les muestro un pequeño diagrama cómo se incorpora IronVest dentro del Exchange, dentro de la plataforma de correo de Outlook, cómo la plataforma de correo de Outlook sigue trabajando, pero esta es una capa mucho más sofisticada que previene todas las amenazas de correo. Espero estar a tiempo, Cristi.
Sí, ya.
Perfecto. Gracias por el tiempo.
Listo, muchas gracias Camilo. Bueno, les recuerdo a las personas también que pueden ir dejando sus preguntas y respuestas, si no, igual de todas formas pueden ponerse en contacto con los oficiales de comercio de cada país. Y entonces, now we'll move to the next presentation. So I'm going to invite Jerry Moroeli, CEO from Asset Technologies.
Hi, hello all. Thanks for hanging on. I'm sharing my deck. Let me know when you see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Lovely. Okay, so thanks for hanging out. My pleasure. I'm Yariv and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Asset Technologies. And today I'm going to talk about the solution that we provide in a way that will help you minimize and reduce fraud-related activities to your organization, especially for finance sector or any other sector related with end users that might have harm. Okay, so we are active since 2015. We have clients all over the globe from various industries. You can read about our success stories on our website. Now, the reason why we incorporate the company, it's because in the traditional approach in cybersecurity, what companies tend to do is protect their own facility, meaning you probably heard about firewall, IPSs, IDSs, WAF, DAFs. I'm sure you know about this acronym. You might have some of them, you might have all of them. But the main problem with this approach is the fact that we are waiting for the attack to happen. Simple as that. Since we are monitoring our own facility, only the moment someone attacked us directly, only then we analyze the log and understand whether there was an attack and if it was successful or not. Okay? Now, not to mention the fact that many times we see attacks about our business partners, and these tools will never assist us. Okay? So the solution, we said, is we must somehow enhance our capabilities beyond the organizational infrastructure. Okay? And this is exactly what we bring to the table. So the first solution is the intelligence solution. And what we are doing here is we are monitoring the hackers, where they are acting, what they are doing, what is their incentive. Okay? So the benefits of using such a technology is, first and foremost, is enhancing our security operations center capabilities. This is the most important part. We are not here to replace your employees. Don't think that we know better than you. We are only enhancing your existing capabilities beyond your organizational premise. Okay? Second thing is the fact that we must reduce the time to mitigate. This is the whole goal of a security team. The longer it takes us to reduce the risk, the costlier it is to the organization itself. So in terms of coverage, we provide coverage to deep web markets and forum, dark web markets and forums, data dumps, social media, chat platforms. And whenever I'm talking about social media and chat platforms, it's not as if we monitor all of them. This is not a trend analysis tool. We are monitoring only groups or users related to hacking and fraudulent activities. Okay, so in a sense that the context already there. We also monitor developer platforms, and in terms of developer platforms, it's because many times you have a scenario in which even hackers use developer platforms in order to attack your organization or to spread something about you, and also various leak sources. So many times I get the question, why hackers using different infrastructure to do specific things? And there's a simple rationale behind the scene. For example, if they are doing an open campaign, they will usually, if we are talking about social media, they will use it to recruit people, okay? On the day of the attack, in order to communicate, they will use the chat platform. And then if they want to sell their goods or to brag about their successful attack, they will use forums or markets, depends on the use case. So how we are doing this secret magic? So it's quite simple. What we bring to the table is bots, and we have cluster of bots that are spread globally, and they are mimicking human activity. In that way, we can infiltrate to various zones that hackers are using. So this is a high-level overview. All the solution is cloud native. You don't need to install anything, no agent whatsoever, okay? The moment you subscribe, you are good to go. You define your points of interest, which are keyword-based. For example, B numbers for credit card, your domain name, name of key personnel, whatever you think that if hackers are mentioning you want to know about, this is a keyword, okay? The moment you add it, from this point onward, the bots will do the job for you. The moment they will find insights about a threat that reside with the keyword that you dictated, you will get the alert with all the context that you need. So in terms of type of data, it could be fraud-related activities. Just like I said, it could be stolen credentials. It could be credit card data. It could be counterfeits. For example, if you are selling watches and you want to see if someone is selling these watches on the dark web, this is the place to search, okay? Things like that. It could be stealer logs. It could be stolen documents, cyber attack.
One more minute, please.
We don't need more than that. Compromised email account, and actually anything that hackers will mention, it could be even structure of data, we know how to monitor it. That's it, plain and simple. Any questions?
Thank you, Jared. I think we have some questions now, but we'll see if we got some until the end of the webinar, and if not, everyone is very welcome to send their questions, and we can canalize them through the trade officers. So,
sure. No
thank
problem.
you, Jared.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we'll move with our last but not least presentation. So I'm happy to invite Samuel Setger, who is the Enterprise Account Executive of Upland.
Muchas gracias, Cristi. Cambiamos nuevamente al español. Un gusto poder hablar con todos. Creo que soy lo que separa a ustedes de su almuerzo, así que intentaré hacerlo breve. Mucho gusto, yo soy Samuel. Estoy actualmente como líder del go-to-market de Upwind para toda Latinoamérica. ¿Quién es Upwind? ¿Qué hacemos? De manera muy sencilla, hoy la mayoría de las organizaciones, si no ya todas, están transfiriendo sus infraestructuras y sus aplicaciones para una arquitectura de nube. O ya están 100% lo que llamamos de cloud native o están pasando por la transformación. Y básicamente lo que es más importante dentro de las compañías hoy vive en la red y en la nube. Si miramos de manera general, existen un montón de soluciones que hacen de alguna manera la protección de la nube. ¿Por qué existe Upwind? ¿Qué pasó para que nosotros hemos iniciado esta compañía? Nosotros tenemos la misión de crear la mejor solución de protección de nube del mundo. ¿Cómo lo hacemos? La manera de legado, la manera como la mayoría de las compañías lo hacen hasta hoy, es básicamente mirando desde afuera hacia adentro, donde se toman estándares, se toman reglas que existen en el mercado y básicamente se compara eso con qué está pasando dentro de la red y a veces dentro de las aplicaciones de las compañías. Apple trabaja de manera un poco diferente. Nosotros miramos desde adentro hacia afuera. ¿Qué quiero decir yo? Nosotros vivimos en el runtime, en las aplicaciones, en el ambiente más a derecha, más de producción posible, y traemos la información que nosotros tenemos acceso a partir del runtime para poder traer mejores priorización y mejor contexto por todas las capas de que la nube puede estar involucrada. Entonces, temas como postura, aplicaciones, todo eso está incluido en lo que hacemos dentro de Apple. Entonces, tenemos en realidad dos diferencias principales que traemos para el mercado. Uno, soluciones tradicionales están enfocadas en configuración. Nosotros traemos configuración, pero también qué está pasando a nivel APIs, a nivel containers, a nivel agentes de AI que puedan estar involucrados dentro de las operaciones de la empresa, secrets, identidades y todo. Todo dentro de una misma plataforma. Dentro de Appin trabajamos con tres pilares principales. El central de acá, la parte de Workload Security, nosotros podemos conectarnos con todos los proveedores de nube. No tenemos no solamente los tres principales, pero también Huawei, Alibaba y todos los otros. Y nosotros traemos una capa muy interesante de protección a los workloads, que sean containers, que sean EC2s, que sean máquinas virtuales. Y la capa de protección esta trabaja también en la detección y respuesta de incidentes en vivo. Entonces nosotros por estar ahí viviendo dentro de los workloads, podemos detectar y mitigar los incidentes mientras ellos pasan. Toda esta información es pasada para la capa izquierda, que es el tema de la postura. Una o dos veces al día se puede hacer escaneo y así que trabajan las soluciones tradicionales que pasan una visión parcial y estática de cuáles son las configuraciones principales. Lo que Upwind hace es ayudar y apoyar a los equipos con la priorización de qué necesita ser tratado de manera más urgente, cuáles son los riesgos reales y a nivel amenazas, qué amenazas necesitan ser tratadas de manera más urgente dentro de las organizaciones. Obviamente toda la parte de reglas, políticas, estándares específicos que las compañías tienen que pasar, nosotros lo cubrimos por ahí. Y también tenemos la capa de Application Security. ¿Qué hacemos en la capa de Application Security? Traemos dentro de la propia plataforma un producto muy fuerte de API Security. Hoy la mayoría de las aplicaciones están basadas en comunicaciones vía API y nosotros no trabajamos como API Security tradicional, que es básicamente un firewall. Nosotros hacemos un descubrimiento estático de qué existe dentro de la red y también dinámico, o sea, qué las APIs están haciendo en práctica. Muchas veces no se puede parar a los riesgos en una etapa más temprana. Nosotros lo hacemos también en vivo, qué las APIs están haciendo. Toda esta información podemos traer a los desarrolladores para que el riesgo que nosotros detectamos en runtime, runtime es el futuro, el riesgo de runtime va a ser parte del contexto de las informaciones que llegan a los desarrolladores cuando hacen deploy de una aplicación o de algo diferente en la red para ambientes de producción. Entonces nosotros, si miramos cómo funciona un cliente trabajando con Upwind, tiene un valor instantáneo donde nosotros podemos pasar un mapa topológico de cómo funcionan las aplicaciones, cómo funciona la red y pasamos esta información para las compañías. Nosotros brindamos la oportunidad de arreglar y mitigar riesgos, amenazas que realmente sean críticos dentro del ambiente del cliente y obviamente ataques que terminan pasando en real time. Son cosas que Upwind puede hoy mitigar. ¿Quiénes somos nosotros? La empresa es la segunda startup y creo que va a ser muy exitosa de los founders nuestros. La empresa es muy nueva, hemos iniciado las operaciones en 2023. Hoy tenemos ya cientos de clientes. En Latinoamérica ya tenemos en Brasil, en México, en Argentina y Chile y estamos expandiendo de manera muy fuerte. La empresa tiene más de 180 millones de dólares en rondas de inversión. Muchos de los logos más importantes del mundo ya están con nosotros, los otros están a camino y yo les invito para que si ustedes ya tienen algo para proteger a sus ambientes de runtime y de nube de producción, o si ustedes buscan quizá mejorar una de las partes de esta protección, que entren en contacto con nosotros. Tenemos una estrategia muy enfocada en canales locales. Invito también a los canales que tienen interés de agregar o cambiar su solución actual de protección de ambientes de nube, que entren en contacto con nosotros. Muchas gracias a todos. Creo que el almuerzo va a estar en tiempo.
Muchas gracias, Samuel. Efectivamente. Gracias. Bueno, al momento no tenemos ninguna otra consulta. Entonces, primero agradecerles a todos. Vamos a seguir con español. Primero agradecerles a todos por asistir, a todos los participantes, también a los expositores. Thank you all the presenters and the companies from Israel who share with us their solutions. We are sure that many of the people that attended the webinar will contact us and we'll put you in contact in order to schedule meetings. Nuevamente recordarles a los asistentes que pueden ponerse en contacto con los trade officers de cada uno de sus países para poder solucionar consultas o quizás agendar una reunión con las empresas que sean de su interés. De ese modo pueden conocer más detalles y ver qué tal es el fit que hay para el que ustedes estén buscando. Entonces, sin más, queremos agradecerles nuevamente. Muchas gracias. Este es un esfuerzo conjunto de las misiones acá de Israel en Latinoamérica y del Instituto de Exportación de Israel. Entonces, muchas gracias y que tengan buen día. Thank you, everyone.
Gracias.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Gracias, bye.
Muchas gracias.